Hey, Sarah here. Well, we are literally halfway through September already. I literally blinked and here we are. Crazy. The summer is pretty much, I would say, over here. We are welcoming in those crisp mornings and it'll be fluffy jumpers and electric blankets in no time. And with that change in season here in the UK, it's literally peeking around the corner. I wanted to talk to you about the seasons in your life and in your business and how you can give yourself permission to step up or step back, permission to change or continue with what's working. And I think the thing is, we can get stuck in a season of our life and then we feel like we can't step out of it. We feel like, well, this must be how it's meant to be, or this is the easiest option, I'm tired, I'm overwhelmed, and I don't see an easy way out. We can also find ourselves in seasons of life that are amazingly good. The season of success, when things are going well, we think that they will be fleeting and short-lived. You are almost expecting this wholeness, this amazing feeling, this jump out of bed each morning feeling to pass. You're actually waiting for it to pass. And then, it inevitably does. And internally you go, yep, I called it, as you head into perhaps a season of struggle. And that's one of hardship, difficult decisions, exhaustion, sickness, or maybe all of the above and more. Or you can head into this sort of in the middle season, kind of like spring and autumn, the transitional seasons. And although I think summer is clearly the best season, I'm going to leave it up to you to decide how you'd like to apply the analogy here. So I call the transitional season the in-betweeny season, and it's in between the season of success and the season of struggle, where it's all a bit same. Nothing particularly difficult or bad is happening, and you feel okay in yourself. Okay, depression isn't lurking, you aren't on the verge of a breakdown, you're not in a financial crisis, and your family are all healthy. But it's not all rainbows and butterflies either. You haven't been as proactive with your health as you wanted to be, and you still haven't started that project that you said you would. And you've not had any amazing, colossal business ideas for ages. And you are always daydreaming about the time when your head hits the pillow. It's monotony, it's the same kind of days, day in and day out. You get up, perhaps you go for a walk, take the kids to school, come back, throw a load of washing in the machine and pick up the random bits of crap you see on the floor as you wait for the kettle to boil. You go and do some work, you go and pick the kids up from school. And then it's more of the same, plus cooking and your kids complaining and then not eating the food you've made, tackling them to get their homework done, finally getting them into bed, and then perhaps you read or you watch an episode of Schitt's Creek before you take yourself off to bed. Well, that's my version of same. The same tedious, monotonous day. And I'm sure you will have, some bits and bobs switched out there, but the premise is, however different yours is to mine, you do the same stuff over and over, day in, day out. And the in-betweeny season can last days, weeks, months, or even years. And it can kind of feel like, what's the point when you've been stuck there for ages? You've not had that season of success for a while. And you're thinking, I'm not making any massive gains. I'm not going anywhere fast. I'm stagnating. And you kind of feel like you're just passing the time. And that precious time you have here on earth is kind of being wasted. And then you might start to feel annoyed at your situation or, annoyed with yourself or with others. Maybe you even feel trapped. Like, well, nothing can change until I sign a new client and bring in some more money. Or you might think, when my kids are older and aren't as dependent on me, things will improve. Or I can't do anything right now until I'm on top of my health condition. Maybe you resign yourself to, well, this is just how it is for me. And before I go on, I want you to know that all of these seasons are normal. The season of success, of struggle, and the in-betweeny season are all available to each and every one of us. And everyone will have been elated and energized, and then down in the pits, and then somewhere in between. Even those who show up on social media with their perfect pictures and their motivational and inspiring posts, even the folk down the road with a nice car, neat garden, and seemingly perfect family whom never argue on the driveway like yours do. Even the yoga instructor you follow on YouTube or the aromatherapist even your coach, we aren't immune either. And you know that saying that you wouldn't enjoy the sunshine without the rain? Or is it the light without a little darkness? Either way, it's the same thing. You wouldn't appreciate the good in your life if it was 100% constant, if there were no wobbles, no tests, nothing to navigate, nothing to grow from. Life ebbs and flows, and with that comes the situations we find ourselves in that bring these 3 seasons. Embrace each one, knowing they won't last. Being extra grateful when your favourite season arrives, when you feel unstoppable, when things are going right, when you have harmony and you feel content. And know that the sinking feeling in the pit of your stomach will eventually pass. Know that you will get through your season of struggle. However many you have, just think, how many have I gotten through before? Because you can do this. Take whatever learnings from this season with you into the rest of your life, if there are any to be taken. And that in-betweeny season, decide for yourself if you want to stay there, if being comfortable is okay right now, or if you're mildly annoyed at the sameness. Do something about it. Maybe you're really annoyed by the sameness. If you want to propel yourself into your preferred season of feeling fully alive and unstoppable, and just FYI, this is where you unleash that inner goddess, that inner boss, or that inner hero of yours, okay? Is that season of success where things are feeling good, you're feeling abundant, you're feeling unstoppable and powerful. And even if you're stuck doing the same routines day in and day out, how can you make those routines more fun? How can you make those days more fun whilst you're in that moment? How can you give yourself a sense of purpose? You don't have to go big or go home, okay? That is a myth. Take things down to the smallest, minute, minuscule level if you need to. Action, however small, is better than inaction. You want to read more? Just read a page a day instead of trying to tackle a chapter. You want to journal? Just write 3 words to depict what you are grateful for that day instead of trying to fit in writing an entire paragraph. Wish you were exercising? Do a few squats or grab a dumbbell while the kettle boils instead of wishing you were at the gym but you know you can't fit that in right now because you're raising your kids. Want to get up earlier? Set the alarm 5 minutes early and succeed rather than setting it an hour early and failing. Email just 1 potential client. Save that text as a template, tweak it and use it again next time instead of trying to tackle 12 different clients in one session. I could go on, but the point is, in your in-betweeny season, something needs to happen to propel you forwards if that's where you want to go. And I've given you a few examples, but think about what will be meaningful and fulfilling in your life and then take it small. What is it? What is meaningful for you? Can it go any smaller? What is the smallest way you can start to do that thing? And yes, there might still be big, grand things that you can do to propel yourself forwards and back into feeling on top of the world and crushing it again. If you have the time and the inclination to dive into that, what are you waiting for? But if not, if you're raising a family or running a business and holding down a job, if you're managing a chronic illness or your mental health, or maybe even caring for an elderly relative and you do not have time to do the big things and you do not have energy to do the big things and you're not feeling inspired or motivated to do the big things, and there's a gazillion other scenarios as well, but whatever that is, even if just thinking of the big things leaves you feeling exhausted and overwhelmed, take it small. And if you've got a few things that you want to go small on, pick the one that will have the biggest impact on how you will feel once you've accomplished it and go from there. Because these seasons are able to be changed. We are able to move through them easier and quicker if we want to, right? And I've got a free resource to help you shrink those big, impossible to do tasks into manageable, bite-sized want to do's so you can transition out of the in-betweeny season and into your season of success. And this can also help you navigate out of the season of struggle too, or at least feel more in control whilst you're there. The link for this resource is in the show notes, so I would love, love, love for you to check that out. And I want to finish on the note that everyone's seasons are going to look different from one another. The exercise in the resource will help you identify what your seasons look and feel like and how you can move forwards with ease. Okay, next week I'm talking about neurodivergence in business. Whether you are diagnosed with a neurodivergence or not, if you're finding your brain works differently from most other people, you may have a neurodivergent trait. Maybe you struggle with some things but are genius in other areas, right? Perhaps you find it difficult to focus on the task at hand, having sort of a shiny object syndrome, and you have loads of incomplete projects on the go, or you find certain areas of your business near impossible despite others seemingly having no issues. I'm going to be covering all that and how you're being held back in your business. However, I'm not a doctor, nor am I able to tell you if you have a neurodivergence. All of my work is from experience, and what I talk about in this podcast or elsewhere is for you to take and use at your discretion. It's going to be a good one, and I'm excited to dive into it with you. Have a wonderful day. Take care.